Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Stay in Your Lane. I'm your host, John Maley, Triple T Transport. Billy Barstow, today's guest. Billy's been with us many years, rock solid, consistent, honest. So I asked him, we need a status update on how the trucking industry is treating him and what's going on, what's he seeing. So Billy Barstow, Barstow Trucking. Billy, tell me, what are you seeing?
Well, I guess in November, December, we did see some increase in freight rates. Nothing spectacular, but a little bit of help. And then, of course, the fuel coming down was another help, but it's still not where we need to be. We went from losing money to losing a lot of money to just losing a little bit of money right now. But the fact is that we've done that for 2 years now. So even a little bit affects you more than it would have during a regular, trucking cycle. We're trying to do, there's so many different things right now. The market, new truck market has gone crazy amount of money for new equipment. Insurance rates have just multiplied, increasing every year. We're seeing it again this year. The price of doing business is going through the roof, and with the rates not coming up to match the overhead, it's very hard to maintain. But we're here, and we plan on being here. It's just got to keep on grinding.
I think that's a pretty honest assessment from what I'm hearing and seeing from everyone I work with. It's about staying alive. It seems like it's been the past 2 years. I think it was hang on. And if you were smart and put everything you could away during COVID, you've by last October, November at the latest, you'd given that back plus some. So now it's, you just about have to hang in there because the end can't be too far away. Because if it happens like last week, we saw 722 authorities reduced in the FMCSA database last week. Normally, it's been running 300.
88,000 total MCs were turned in last year.
I don't know how many total last year. I know October was the biggest month of people walking away from the trucking industry.
Yeah.
October was
the number of 88,000. So
it doesn't surprise me. I think there's still a lot that probably a lot of excess brokerage providers in the industry, and I think there's unfortunately when they go, they take out a lot of the smaller providers that aren't financially solid also.
Yeah, and a lot of this equipment is not necessarily coming off of they're turning in their MCs and then they're going to owner operator or to other companies. So just because we have that many doesn't mean that many trucks are off the road, of course.
Right.
A lot of people have turned it into MC and just looked on the and then I can tell you right now, I can go down the road right now, down here on the railroad tracks. There's 4 or 5 trucks you can tell where companies have just took the tags off it, took their stickers and left them there, and they've been sitting there for a while.
Yeah. Can't afford to run them.
Not even trying to get them back. They don't have a place to put them.
Well, and I think that you saw that even from the bigger carriers, they've reduced their fleets, and they've actually picked up some drivers because a lot of them were, playing owner operator there for the time period through COVID or maybe a little before, trying to make it on their own, and then they went back to being company drivers, which you don't hear everybody screaming about driver shortage right now.
The drivers are easier to get right now. I still, have to, look for them. But it's not like it was 8 months ago when you couldn't find them. Period. They are more plentiful. You can kind of choose through a little better. Where sometimes you were stuck with, people maybe wouldn't want to hire on a regular basis, but sometimes you had to just because you couldn't afford to have the truck setting. I don't think that's the fact anymore. I think you can be more selective with your driving personnel.
I would agree with that. I think we're seeing the same things. As far as how many pieces of equipment you running right now? 19 or 20?
18.
You're down at 18.
Yep.
Okay. Any more coming? Any trade outs? Any new ones coming?
It's always in the cards. We're not going to buy any new equipment right now because a truck that was buying for 161,000 2 years ago, now they want 220,000, and that number is just unattainable for us. So we're just not buying anything new. If we, but there is a market out there right now for trucks who got repoed after a year. That's got maybe 100,000 on it, and the price reduced much. That's probably the market that I'm going to go into now at replacing my equipment. I'm not paying these prices and we ordered 5 trucks last year. We only took 2 of them, and Peterbilt's not happy with them because I didn't take the other 3, but their prices just made it impossible to survive. You can't do that.
Right.
So, and the trucks I ordered are still sitting on the yard. They ain't moving them to nobody else either.
Bob Costello mentioned that was the make it or break it. He was a firm believer in that. That's chief economist for the American Trucking Associations. You know who Bob is?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
And he said, those that are overinvested in their equipment are surely not to be successful. So you may be stepping away from new equipment because it's overly priced and going to put you in that position. Might be a smart thing. That shows us, not all of us Ohio hillbillies are dumb. We got to watch.
Yeah.
We got to be smart.
Yeah, I wish I was a little smarter a year ago and I wouldn't have bought the new ones I got. But we've always liked good equipment because we always like customer service. We don't like our trucks to break down on the road. Our customers worried about the freight getting delivered. So we always tried to have the highest maintenance level in a truck that we possibly can do. But right now, it's just got to go the other direction.
Well, I think it's smart. I think it says a lot about you and your ability to understand that you have to change the way you're operating and make some concessions, but you're not making safety concessions. You're not putting old equipment on the road. You're not putting unsafe equipment on the road. You're talking about, 100,000 miles or less or so trucks. You're just being smart about what you can and can't invest in.
Yeah, I'm not buying new. I'm done with that. Maybe down the road when market changes, I will look at that again, but it's the only way we can handle. Now, we don't have the buying power of some companies who go in and buy 50 trucks at a time. They get I buy 2 at a time.
Right.
There's they ain't going to give me that kind of discount. So it's hard for it to just compete with the other companies who are paying far less because they can buy in bulk. It's like you go to Sam's Club, buy bulk toilet paper. You're going to get a lot cheaper than if you buy one at a time.
Well, that's a necessity.
Yeah.
I think we learned that during COVID.
It is a necessity, but yeah, you just have to look at it.
Where would you say you are from a confidence level in the market coming back and what you're feeling or seeing?
It's, we hear that it's going to come back slowly. And that's what I'm feeling like too. I feel like it is going to come back. It's got to come back. I don't know how much longer people can survive like we are right now. We think it's going to come back slowly. We're being told it's coming back. All our prognostics are saying slowly. I just don't know if that's going to be quick enough. We need to come back more than slowly.
It's pretty tough. It's an election year. We're not in a great place from an economy overall perspective. We're hoping and looking for an uptick in third and fourth quarter. But I don't think anybody's going to go bet the farm on it.
Because be honest, they're the guy in trucking that been as long as I have. I mean, there's people, and seen this, and I've always been able to, I could tell what the market's going to do and understand the market, but market drops have been 2, 3, 6 months, 7 months, and you could feel it and you could tell what was going to come back. you can't rate this. This is something completely different. I truly believe it's man-made. I think it's something that's more than just economy. I think it's man-made. I don't know who's in control of it, if it's the large trucking companies or government or whatever, but it just seems to be more of a man-made depression in trucking than it is reality. Not real. You know what I mean?
6 month outlook. What are you trying to? What's your goals and accomplishments to try and be ahead of, or to make by the end of summer, maybe?
This is depressing, but my goals, accomplishments would be still being here. That's all I can do. That's the only thing I can set right now. I can't. There's no other goals to set. Just survivability.
Every month you're pulling money out of your pocket to keep it afloat.
Well, in the last 3 months, we've been basically breaking even. When I say breaking even, $5,000 to $10,000 one way or the other. It's nothing, for the longest time, for 2 years, without money out of our pocket to keep going. The last three months has been break even, maybe, in this business, $5,000 to $10,000 loss of 18 trucks is a break even number. That's not going to. I'll be able to hang out fun, but before we were doing $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 losses every month. So, in perspective,
for 24 months.
Yeah. Yep. But it's just easy, simple math will tell you when the fuel went up, our fuel went up $60,000 a month when the prices went crazy. Like we were $60,000. Well, we were being a small company, was bringing in 30,000 profits. Well, when you have a 60,000 increase, well, that 30,000 profits now becomes $30,000 loss just in fuel.
Well, and simple. I don't think most people realize fuel surcharge doesn't, it doesn't cover the actual reefer units fuel, what the truck may actually do, where you end up having to fill up. You when you're loaded heavy, you have a lot of limitations on what your fuel options are. All of these things are common sense to somebody behind the wheel or someone close to it.
And unfortunately, the fuel surcharge gets ate up a lot by the broker. The fuel surcharge may be one number, and they'll pass it on to the company to the next. Look, there's brokers out there who are. I can tell you right now, we have a customer here out of Tampa, Florida. We do consistently, and we bring loads back into it. Well, they brought another gentleman in who wanted to not only have us as their trucking company, they wanted to increase because they were getting bigger. So I don't have a problem with that. So they give some of the freight that they were giving to us to the other trucking company, other broker. And I can tell you, was getting, I'll give you the numbers. I'm afraid of 2,000 North Carolina to Florida from the customer, and the customer's paying the broker same thing, but they put them on the board. They had opened the board for $1,100. We had a truck in that area. And said, well, you know what? It's not our freight, and they didn't give it to us and stuff, but we have to get this driver back because of personal reasons. So we called on the load, and they wouldn't budge off $1,100. Well, we knew for a fact they got paid $2,000 because the guy in the office told me. So there's $900, and they got it moved. So that's what we're dealing with.
Thank you for sharing everything with us, telling us what you're seeing, what's going on. It's nice to hear. It's always a pleasure to talk to you and to see you. Thank you for being on Stay in Your Lane. We don't have anybody that we respect and appreciate more. We have a lot of good providers like yourself, but nobody we appreciate and respect more. You've always been a class act, and if there's anything we can do for you, you got to just let us know.
We appreciate you. And, we always know we have a partner in Triple T. So,
well, we feel the same. Okay. Right. If you need anything, let us know. And until then, stay in your lane, Billy.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Billy. You have a good one.
Continue watching on the next episode of the Stay in Your Lane podcast.